Chapter 11. So after the creature smacked into Osborne's windshield, he was no longer dismissive of the previous sightings, because when he saw those strange occurrences previously, he was having some sort of doubt as to whether they really happened. And another thing that Osborne was experiencing was he was having repetitive dreams. Like, on one dream, he was walking on Washington Street and he looked up in this above him and he saw like a UFO hovering silently. And another dream, he was also walking on the sidewalk and then he looked above him and he saw a floating house that lit up and that was making like a terrible noise. And then he woke up. And another dream was that he was going to the bathroom and then he looked outside the window and he saw a disc hovering above the woods. These were all dreams, but they were happening frequently. And a lot of people describe UFO and alien abduction encounters like that they experience it like when they're like in a dream state and they're not sure if the events really happen or not. Osborne did also mention another incident that he was outside his apartment with his girlfriend and he also heard the squeaking sound and his girlfriend also heard that sound, but she dismissed it as some type of animal or something. But they didn't saw anything, they just heard something. So it wasn't really a sighting, it was just something that they heard. So another section of the chapter describes the author. When he went with his family to downtown Camden, and the main purpose was to do an investigation. Basically, he was looking for the Mothman. So him and his family stay at a hotel, and when everybody went to sleep, he was gonna go outside at night and do his investigation. So he just went to the police station to just let them know what he was gonna do. And he basically first started, he took his flashlight and his night vision goggles, and he didn't know like what type of equipment you should bring to look for the Mothman, because that's basically what he was trying to do. So the first place that he went to was a park, and it was just a small park with a swimming area. And he just basically sat in a bench, but he didn't saw anything. And then this is kind of silly, but he went driving. He left the area, and then he just went driving down Washington Street, hoping that the boatman will crash into his windshield, just like in the movie. Obviously, that did not happen. So he went back to the same park and sat on the bench again, saw some mist, and he just stayed there like 3 hours. He didn't see anything, and he just went back to the hotel. The next investigation, he brought his 11-year-old son, and they basically park behind some apartments in some marshy area near the woods. And they were just talking, just spending time with his son. And the son was just eating candy. So after a while, they got out of the car, and the son saw like a red light, like hovering, but in the woods. And they were not sure what it was. He was thinking that maybe it was some brake lights, because maybe they didn't know the area that well, and maybe there was like a road and some cars were driving by, and the red light was just some tail lights from some car. And they took a picture, and then they went back to the park from the previous night, and they heard something walking in the water, but they didn't see anything because it was kind of dark. So he turned on the headlights of the car a few times, but they didn't see anything. So after a couple of hours, they just went back to the hotel. The son fell asleep, and he was just going over the pictures that he took, but he didn't find anything.